Yeah, so my name's Arturo Chavez. I'm 19. I'm 18 years old. My birthday is pretty soon, actually. It's
Nice, nice,
coming up, and then I'm graduating from Latino Youth High School.
nice. And what role do you think alternative school has played in like getting you to this point that you are at today?
I mean, it truly helped. I'm not gonna lie. For the first 3 years, I wasn't even going to this school.
Yeah.
My life story is kind of rocky. I've been moving place to place, and when I transferred, I was originally going to Morton East out in Cicero, but their school system, I wasn't comfortable with it, so I had to transfer over. And I transferred to Latino Youth, and it made the process very easy. It was nice. The staff were really nice, and it's just overall a really good school that ultimately helped me achieve my goal of graduating.
Nice. What do you think about it is about their like school system that like worked for you like compared to other schools you
I would
were
say
at?
how flexible it was, given due to the pandemic, it's online. But I would say overall how flexible I was capable of just being myself, but also maintaining stuff for school and making time for school. So,
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. So, what do you see yourself doing like in the future in 5 years, 10 years?
in
What
five
do
to
you
ten
see?
years, I'm either hoping to become a social media influencer through YouTube,
Okay, nice.
or a singer, a rapper. Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. What kind of content are you trying to do on YouTube?
I'm trying to push. So for me, it's like there's a difference between mental health awareness and emotional health awareness.
Yeah.
I'm trying to push content that focuses on the emotional aspect of the soul and how you can get overall healed and what you should be doing so you could feel better about yourself.
That's dope. That's really dope. So, any plans for tonight after your graduation?
No, I'm just gonna party with the family.
Nice. All right. Thanks, bro. Appreciate
All right,
it.
thank you. I
Congrats.
appreciate it.
Thank you all. If I could have everyone stand for our national anthem. Thank you. You may be seated. So hello and good afternoon. My name is James Hurlbert. I am the Director of Education for Pilgrim's Wellness Center's Latino Youth High School. And it is my great honor to welcome you to our 47th annual commencement ceremony in honor of our graduating class of 2022. I want everyone to think about that for a second. 47 years. 47 years ago, Gerald Ford was president. Jimmy Hoffa just disappeared. The Vietnam War was ending with the fall of Saigon. Now, when I think about that history, I think about the history of Latino youth, and about the teachers, the community members, the activists that saw a need for a school like ours and worked tirelessly to make it a reality. In that spirit, I want to thank some of the people who work behind the scenes that ensures that Latino youth continues to fill its mission to empower the children of Chicago. First and foremost, I want to give thanks to our CEO of Pilsen Wellness Center, Dr. Francisco Cisneros, who at the time of the school's greatest need ensured its survival and its move to our current home at 2001 South California. Next, I'd like to thank Jack Weiss and the team at the Alternative School Network, whose programs and support have helped hundreds of Latino youth students throughout the year. So let's give a hand for ASN and the ASN mentors who have done so much for our school. And of course, I would be remiss not to thank Sheila Vinson and Youth Connections Charter School, who have shown the children of Chicago that a second chance can also be a better chance. We'll go for a rose with the clap. And finally, I want to thank Dr. Stanley Fields and the Board of Trustees at Morton College, who have all worked together to allow us to hold this graduation ceremony here today. So let's all give a nice round of applause for all of them. To thank them for the support they have provided for us in youth. Now, when I think about Latino youth, and I think about the history, we talked a little bit about our history, I can't think about the history that I have had here at the school. I started working in the agency in 2007, hired as the school's sole science teacher. Now, back in 2007, the city of Chicago and Chicago public schools were faced by a whole host of problems. Some problems that unfortunately still exist today. So, back then, 2007, the graduation rate for a student in Chicago public schools was 50%. Think what that means. If you were a freshman in a CPS school, the chance that you would make it to your graduation could be decided by the flip of a coin. Now, I am very honored to see so many of our graduates here today. I think you need to give yourself a very strong pat on the back, because this was a hard journey for you. We're at the ending stage of a worldwide pandemic for 2 years. I'm sure that no one thought their high school experience was going to be spent online in Zoom classes. That, amazes me. We are, unfortunately, in an economic downturn. We have war in Europe. There's a lot. I hope you were paying attention to Ms. Carpenter's histories class, okay? Because there are so many parallels that are unfortunately happening and repeating again. The old phrase, if you don't learn from history, you're bound to repeat it. And we are seeing some of the main problems. But I also see a lot of hope. I look here, and I see so many faces. There are, unfortunately, some people who are not here today. There are graduates, or people that I assume would be graduating here, who are not here today. I bring that up not to disparage them, but to highlight your accomplishment. No one gave you your diploma. You earned it. You struggled for it. This is here by your achievement. I really hope that you are feeling proud in this moment, because because this is something that you truly grasp and earn. And it is the first step, but an important first step onto the rest of your lives. And you need to own that, and you need to feel secure in that. Because I have a great amount of pride in you. I know your family has a great amount of pride in you. And I hope you are having pride in yourself at this moment. Now, I know everybody loves to hear me talk. Because who doesn't? Okay. But I want to introduce a man who's been a friend of the school for a long time. Enrique Morenes. He's the former CEO and founder of Border Angels, a nonprofit organization that advocates for human rights, human immigration, and social justice. So if you could please give a nice round of applause. Thank you, sir.
Buenas tardes a todos. My name is Enrique Morones, and I am I'm the founder of Border Angels. I'm the founder of the House of Mexico, and I'm the executive director of Gente Unida. And I want to congratulate the principal, the teachers, the families, but especially you, the students. Today is the most important day in your lives. You have your whole future in front of you. And I can remember way back when I graduated, I had no idea what I was going to be doing. But my dream was to be in professional baseball. And I got hurt early on, and I never made it to the major leagues on the field. But I did make it to the major leagues in the front office. I was the vice president for the San Diego Padres from 1995 to 2001. And sorry about that sweep against the Cubs this past week. I'm not a Padre fan anymore. Go Golden State Warriors. But anyways, and the Bulls. So I want to talk a little bit about how today is the most important day in the rest of your lives, and how in my situation, I didn't realize I was going to be dedicating my life to human rights. So I'm going to say a few words in Spanish. I know there's a lot of Spanish-speaking people here. Y quiero agradecerle mucho a los padres y todos los sacrificios que ustedes han hecho para sus hijos. Porque yo conozco ese sacrificio. No conozco de ustedes personalmente. Sé que están muy orgullosos de sus hijos. Y ellos deben de estar muy orgullosos de ustedes. And so with my work with Border Angels, we didn't have a name when we first started. And this is when I was in baseball with the Padres. And I was invited to a television show, which some of you, especially Spanish speakers, are familiar with. I was invited to Sábado Gigante. So I guess a few of you know who it is. So when I came out with Don Francisco, cuando me invitaron a Sábado Gigante con Don Francisco, when I came out on the stage, Don Francisco said, El Ángel de la Frontera. And that's how we got the name Border Angels, because of Don Francisco. And for those of you that don't know Sábado Gigante, because there's a few of you, or Don Francisco, he's way bigger than Oprah or anybody else, because he's the #1 Spanish language personality around the world. And his show, Sábado Gigante, which used to be filmed, or used to be broadcast from Miami, is no longer a show, but it's a very, very powerful show. And when I walked out there, I wanted to share some stories about the importance of the work that we all do, the importance of the work that you will be doing. So I talked a little bit about how I started Border Angels. And I know that it's very, very important to know the stories. I was talking to a commissioner and an alderman, and I'm glad that you're here, about the importance of education. So what I used to do, because I have a bad leg now, we used to go out every week, now I go about once a month, and we put water in the desert so that migrants don't die when they're crossing. That's what I do. So I've been putting water in the desert for a long time. And since that horrible wall was built between the United States and Mexico in 1994, 12,000 human beings have died. 12,000 human beings have died. Han muerto más de 12,000 personas desde que pusieron el muro entre Estados Unidos y México. The wall covers about a third of the border. The border is 2,000 miles long. So 2/3 does not have wall. And that's where people try to cross, through the desert and so forth. And people are dying every day, every single day. And I know most of you are Latino. I'm 100% Mexican. I'm proud of it. But I would really doubt that any of you, know the name of one of the 12,000 people that have died. I'll give you a name. His name is Marco Antonio Villaseñor. He was a 5-year-old little boy. He crossed with his dad. And as he walked across the border, or as he crossed into the United States, he was very thirsty. So he asked his father for some water. And his own father wouldn't give him water. The boy was 5 years old, and the father wouldn't give him water. So he asked the next man, and the next man, and the next man. He asked 18 men to give him water. And neither of these 18 men would give him water. And why not? They were already dead. Those 18 men had died, and Marco Antonio Villaseñor also died. So when you think of the deaths on the border, or you think of the deaths that you've encountered here in Chicago, you know their story, and it's important that those stories be told. So that's one of the things that I do. I travel all over the world, and I give speeches about the realities of the border and how we all need to do a better job. There's 250 million undocumented people in the world. The U.S. only has 10 million. Most are going elsewhere. And I think a lot of people forget that. And one of the things that has really encouraged me is a story that I heard when I was in college. I went to the University of San Diego. And this person that came up and shared the story, you all know his grandfather. His grandfather was Mahatma Gandhi. So Gandhi's grandson was at USD to give a speech. Esto es cuando vino el nieto de Gandhi a dar una plática. Y para mí me impactó mucho, porque yo veo las muertes en la frontera. And the talk was about a man walking along the beach with his son. And as he's walking along the beach with his son is picking up these starfish, and he's throwing them into the ocean. So the father says to the son, "Son, what are you doing?" And he says, "Well, I'm throwing these starfish into the ocean." And the father says, "Yeah, I can see that, but why are you doing that?" And he says, "Well, Dad, it's so hot. It's so hot out here. And the tide has gone in. All these starfish are dying." And the father says, "What you do does not make a difference." And the little boy picked up a starfish, and he shows it to his father, and he says, "It'll make a difference to this one." That's the power of one. That's the power you all have. What you will do with your lives, and how you will impact others. Those that couldn't make it to the graduation for whatever reason, they're valuable as well. And they have a power. Now, are you going to use that power for good or for bad? When I graduated from USD, I wanted to be playing baseball, but I never made it. But I continued with my education. I worked in the front office for the Padres. I founded Border Angels, Gente Unida. And what we believe is that love has no borders. El amor no tiene fronteras. Por eso dedico mi vida a servir. Estamos en una situación muy difícil. En este momento, never have we had a situation like this. I know there's a lot of things that were similar, but the rise in violence, the school shootings, it's just unbelievable. I'm going to Uvalde in a couple of weeks. It was just so tragic. We've got to protect our children. A society is judged on how we treat our children. And this that's happening here is not happening anywhere else in the world. We've got to make changes. So you're all old enough now to vote. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but you've got to vote. This November and in 2024, we have seen the dangers of what happens when you don't vote. So we've got to get out there and vote. We don't want your prayers and good wishes. We want action. We want action. And we've got to change the laws, and we can change the laws, because the person that makes the biggest change in this world is that person that you look at in the mirror every morning. So I congratulate you all for graduating. I know you have very bright futures ahead of you. I will be sticking around afterwards because I would love to talk to you a little bit more. I would love to start a Gente Unida organization here. And you can be graduates, and then what we do is we have people come out to San Diego, and then we go out into the desert and put water. I just had Harvard University out there and Boston University. We go visit the day laborers, the migrants that are standing around looking for work. I know there was a young man here that wants to be a politician. I think that's a good choice. I used to work as an advisor to President Obama. So I'm a big fan of President Obama's. And it's still very important, whether you're in office or not, to do the right thing, whether anybody is watching or not. Por eso es muy importante que lo que van a hacer en el futuro, va a haber mucha gente que los está viendo. Sus hermanos y hermanas más chicas, your brothers and sisters, they look up to you. Many of you, you're graduating, the first one in your family to be graduating. Many of you are going to be going on to college. Not all of you, but keep up that fighting spirit. I'm really proud to be here with you. I wish I could spend more time up here, but we'll be talking afterwards. And I just want to say, el amor sí se puede.
Sí se puede.
¿Se puede? Brochures and so forth, and you can join our organization. We have Paul Chavez, Cesar Chavez's son is on our board, and we have Dolores Huerta, and most of you should know, the co-founders of United Workers. Y a los papás, muchas gracias por todos sus sacrificios. Sabemos que el amor no tiene fronteras y deben de estar muy orgullosos de lo que han hecho y especialmente que sus hijos se están graduando. Gracias y Dios los bendiga.
Thank you, sir. I do want to remind our audience members, please place your cell phones on vibrate or airplane mode. Now I would like to introduce to you the valedictorian for the class of 2022, Mr. Hernandez. Come on down.
Good evening. Buenas tardes. I'm Christian, and I'll make the speech. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, graduates of 2022 and families joining us for the significant event that we've all been waiting for. It is truly an honor to share this speech with you all today. Before I begin my speech, I'd like to show appreciation and give thanks for my family and friends for their loving support, because it's truly an inspiration and are the reason I kept going. Without them, I wouldn't know where I would be at this very moment. I want to shout out my mother. I love you. Te quiero mucho. Speaking in honesty, I didn't think I would graduate or get this far due to the lack of work and effort I would put into in the beginning years of high school. I'd become reckless with my decisions, and without much thought or solid plan for my future, after going through, I had a rough time in high school, I guess. I didn't care. And after going through many memories and regrets, I did learn many lessons throughout the way and realized I had a lot to get my life together. And by doing that, I took this opportunity in the school to the max, to complete every assignment that was given to me, to make up from what I missed, to prove that I had the potential to be on the same page as everyone else as a student of class of 2022. We all had our difficult situations, to a point where we all felt hopeless or even lost, but no matter what, it all led up to this great milestone, and I'm proud of y'all for that you all strongly overcame them. It took me a while to get to my head in the game, but I am forever thankful. I am forever thankful because I can say that I finally did it. I went from having the worst grades to the best ones that I've ever had. And it took a lot of patience, self-discipline to get where I am. I want to thank the people in my life, my family and friends, my girlfriend, even though it was all I wanted to enjoy myself and make the most of my life. Even if I was dim or in troubles, I had people that were supportive and they cared for me. I'm able to say I was at least happy during difficult moments. I was able to rapidly progress and keep a mental state, a healthy mental state. My friends make me laugh, my mother feeds me well, and my family keeps me life fulfilled. And through Life is Precious, There is hard work that we all must go through to get what we want. I wish on better things for not only myself, but those who are working hard to accomplishing for themselves. Working hard to complete goals. Congratulations to the ones who graduated, acknowledge the ones who fallen, and the ones who will partake. I want to tell you that it's possible. If you really want to accomplish, do it. It will take a lot of sacrifice that people won't appreciate nor notice at the first hours, that they won't see until the very end. We are all responsible for how much effort we put into. Our mindsets and the decisions will simply follow to what we desire. With everything I said, I hope you can all take these words with you and remember them. Congratulations, class of 2022.
Hi, Mama. I'm sorry, the kids are cute. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce to you a dear friend of our school and a fierce advocate for education, the alderwoman for the 10th Ward, Susan Sedlowski Garza. Sorry. One job.
That's okay. My name is Susan Sedlowski Garza, and I am the first ever woman to hold the seat in the 10th Ward in the city of Chicago. When I took office, first of all, I want to say, I'm asked to speak at many graduations, but today for me, I am so humbled and proud to be here. You did it. Give yourselves a hand. I know how hard you've worked to get here because I've spent 22 years of my life as a counselor in Chicago Public Schools on the Southeast Side. So I know how hard you worked to get here, but you did it and you never gave up on yourself. Continue with that momentum, please. And for those of you that don't know where the 10th Ward is, it's the farthest southeast you can go in the city before you hit the city limits. Do you guys know where the Chicago Skyway is? Okay, I live under it. Not actually under the Skyway, but I live right there. So we're the only ward that borders another state, and for me, I'm 6 blocks from Indiana, so that's how far southeast we go. I want to begin by thanking Mr. H. and Dr. Francisco Cisneros for asking me to speak here today. I'm humbled and proud to be here. I'm very, very pleased to be invited to speak here today on what I know is a very special day. It's a special day for the graduates, for their proud parents and their grandparents, and for their very relieved teachers. Just wait until you graduate college. Then your parents will be the relieved ones. As I begin, I have to say, I think the best speeches are those with a great beginning, a memorable end, and not much in between. Today is one of those great occasions that we get to celebrate our young people. Their achievements, their perseverance, and their successes as they grow up. It's one of those times that you can take a break and reflect, feeling good as a parent or a mentor, knowing that the kids that you care about are doing just fine and on the right path. Graduates, you should know that your families are very proud of you today. They have high hopes for you, and they believe in you and are making them proud, and you are making them proud by showing them what you can do. Take a look at them right now. They're all smiling and snapping photos of you so they can record this moment forever. Today is an important day for you and for them. Today, they are very, very proud of you. Today would be a good day to ask for money. Today would also be a good day to hug them and thank them for supporting you. Because as much as this is your achievement, this is also the achievement of the people that care about you. That means that your mom, your dad, your stepdad, your stepmom, your grandparents, your brothers, your sisters, your teachers, your principal, and all the people who care about you. They want you to be your best and live up to your full potential. And today, you are proving to them that you can do it. But most of all, you're proving it to yourself. Come on, yes. Graduations can be seen as a coming of age, a sort of official way to recognize when a person steps into their next stage of life. And graduates, you are stepping into a new stage. With every year, you have become a little bit more independent. I bet you can still remember your first day here. It might have been exciting and a little intimidating too. But I bet now, like when you look back at kids that are in kindergarten, you say to yourself, wow, they're so little. I can't believe that I was ever that young. Well, get used to it because you're going to be saying that the rest of your life. But when you see these younger students, you can tell how much you have grown up, how much you've learned, and how much you've matured. Think back to all the exciting things that happened this year, and all the things you learned. You might have taken field trips, you learned new math, new reading skills, new science skills. You met new friends, you learned patience and gratitude for the things that really matter in life, especially coming out of a global pandemic. You had some great times this year, and maybe you had some tough times, but you did it and you succeeded. So to help you prepare for the next things that you do in life. But first of all, stop texting and thinking about how you wish I would hurry up so you can get out of here and go to McDonald's or Wendy's or wherever you want to go with your friends. Secondly, I ask you to take this chance to dedicate to yourself, to making the next year even better. Remember that you don't always have to follow the crowd. Do the right thing, even when no one is watching. Study hard, and remember that you're investing in yourself. With every test you take and every book you read, please be kind to one another, because the world needs more of that right now. And finally, this is really important. Don't be in too big of a hurry to grow up. These are some of the greatest times in your life, and please don't rush past them. There are bigger and better things coming your way, I promise. And just as your parents are proud, each one of you should feel very proud of yourself. So congratulations to all the graduates. Congratulations to the parents and the family members. And finally, congratulations to the teachers and everyone else who helped these graduates reach this milestone today. Please, let's all give our graduates a big hand. I'm going to leave you with this final quote from a very famous author, all of whom I know you know. His name is Dr. Seuss. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You are on your own, and you know what you know. You are the guy who will decide where you'll go. Now go get 'em, class of 2022! Congratulations!
Now I would like to introduce you to Dean Maria Ledesma and Dr. Monica Masana for the conferral of diplomas.
Good afternoon, everybody. Muy buenas tardes a todos. Bueno, comencemos. Siham Abraham. Gwendolyn Alanis. Leslie Alcantar. Daniel Aguiano. Janet Abelar. Mayra Ayala. Ángel Caballero Salgado. Ismael Calderón. Evelyn Castillo. Arturo Chávez. Abraham Delgado. Celina Escoto. Jane Espinosa. Gustavo Figueroa. Xavier Figueroa. Desiree Gallegos. Cristal García. Eric García. Jaime García. Julio García. Maya Garza.
Congratulations.
Nayeli Girón. Brianna Guzman. Daquan Harris. Adriana Hernández. Cristian Hernández. Martín Hernández. Ninel Jaime. Rosemary Lopez. Leslie Luna. Laura Medina. Alicia Mora. Evelyn Moreno. Ania Moreno. Victor Nandi. Yaneli Ortega. Esmeralda Palacios. Liliana Pierce. José Ramírez. Andrea Reyes. Brenda Rodriguez. Isabel Rodríguez. Jacqueline Rojas. Dana Solais. Giovanni Sosa. Trinity Treviño. Yasmín Ubera. Juliana Vargas. Arad Vasquez. Nicole Kaylin Vega. Jocelyn Zavala. And Ashley Cepeda. I will leave you with our Director of Education.
Okay, now I have to read this word for word, because I want to make sure I get it right. You have accomplished a lot. You have learned that you only fail if you stop trying. But we all know life is tough. And I want to leave you with these words. In the future, you may face a situation where you feel that you have to give up. That's normal. We all go through something like that. And lots of people give up at various times in their lives. When that happens, though, I want you to think back to this moment and realize that whatever problem you are facing, it will pass. And you can move through it and achieve what you want because you achieved this. So, graduates, please rise. Move your tassels to the left. And friends, families, ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the Latino Youth High School graduating class of 2022! I apologize for that. Now, I want to thank everyone who came to our 47th annual commencement. Friends, family, honored guests, you're all invited for food and refreshments in the dining hall, where our graduates can also pose for additional graduation pictures with our photographer. Now, everyone, please allow our graduates to go out first. I know your overwhelming desire is to hug and kiss them and congratulate them, but I have one more task before you leave Latino Youth High School, and that is our graduating class picture. So thank you once again, everyone, and please remember to fly with the Eagles.
We just graduated, man. Oh.
My name is Harris. I'm 19. I just graduated from Latino Youth. And,
yeah, cool. All right. And what do you think was the most difficult part about getting to graduating high school? Like, getting to this point?
Just going to school every day, staying on track from the scratching and stuff. Just being out every day early in the morning, Monday through Friday.
Yeah, I feel you. And what role do you think does going on an alternative school play in, like, help you get to this point?
Like, I feel like I got good one-on-one help, a lot, good tutoring.
Okay, that's cool. So what plans do you got for the next 5 years, 10 years? What do you see
go to
yourself?
college.
Go to college?
And get back working, start working.
Cool. Do you have any colleges you're looking at specifically?
Yeah. Malcolm X, Harriet Tubman.
Alright, cool. Alright, and the final thing is, you got any plans for tonight? How are you gonna celebrate tonight?
I'll probably have a family at my house. A party at my house.
Nice. Alright, bro. Thanks so much, bro.